I command you, corpse. Speak. Reveal truth to the Absolute. Nothing. Must be reading it wrong.
The hobgoblin turns to you, and the parasite squirms in your skull. You taste the ale on his tongue and the bile in his soul. The visions cloud your inner eye for a brief moment once again. You see the hobgoblin bowing before the armored elf you'd glimpsed before. The elf speaks of the hunt for a great weapon and the rewards that will go to whoever finds it. The hobgoblin's eyes gleam hungrily.
If it isn't another true soul.
He doesn't speak his next words, yet they still rattle your skull from within.
You ever talk to a dead squid? Now's your chance. No time like the present. Absolute says the dead squiddy had a weapon. I reckon the killer nabbed it and scooted off to that looter camp. We find who killed it, and we find who took that weapon. So settle in.
You choke on black smoke as the hobgoblin bellows his incantation.
I command you, corpse. Speak and say sooth. Lucan ok al koldek shulkok
The hideous corpse rises, tentacles writhing. Your heart seizes. Under questioning, the creature might recognize you as its killer. Ragzlin's mind reels, then calms. He will speak as you command. With Ragzlin's voice, you ask.
Who killed you?
Ragzlin remains composed. If he senses your manipulations, he gives no sign. The creature responds, not in words, but memories. You see a clawed hand open a holding pod, devoid of flesh, only darkness.
Damn it! That tells me nothing!
Ragzlin remains ignorant to your presence in his mind murk. You choose your next question.
Who is the Absolute?
Ragzlin frowns in confusion at a question he would never have asked. You see an image. Curved drow blades, crude goblin torches, gnoll teeth dripping blood. You see other mind flayers.
You're kidding me! Very helpful, squid!
Suspicion floods Ragzlin's mind. Your brain howls as you force a final query into his throat.
What did the killer want?
Visions consume you once more. A swarm of Githyanki dragon riders, silver blades held high. Control panels melting. Flesh pods spilled open.
Given wait!
Ragzlin pierces your mind, prodding for truth.
You're no true soul. I won't take this disrespect lying down. I'm the boss. I'm the Absolute's right hand. You're a real true soul. I felt it.
The corpse collapses, silent once more.
No, no! I'm not done! Riddles, all of it, and nothing to show for the trouble but rotting squid meat. No answers, no killer, and no damned weapon. That damned Drow was right. Can't let her get all the glory. Seems I ain't done with you. Report to the Drow. Minthara's the name. She's mounting an attack on that blasted grove. Tell her you'll join her. Say that again. 'Cause I know I didn't just hear you refuse the Absolute. Falling in line. Just what I like to see.
What's up for discussion?
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here.
You recognize the scourge. This man is a follower of Leviata, goddess of pain.
Ah. Are you also here to assist with the prisoner? Your tastes must turn to the exotic if you would stop here by choice. I was invited to discuss pain and its intricacies, but even I find these goblins crude and, well, primitive. Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree? You know the Maiden of Pain. How refreshing. But there is more to us than that. Yes, we worship her through pain, often our own, but it is an intimate and loving thing, one we offer up. If you would permit it, I can show you firsthand.
I must see this. Don't you dare say no.
Oh, I have something exquisite in mind. Both Leviata and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one. And should you delight her, you will most assuredly receive her most gracious blessing. Trust me. Simply face the wall, and we can begin. Face the wall and let us begin, dear one. Come now, dear child. It is time to repent. Simply face the wall and stay absolutely still. Good. Turn towards the wall. Move to the wall and face it, child. Move to the wall and face it, The pain you suffer will cleanse you. Do not fight it. Your voice sounds so sweet, dear one. Keep going. Pain is proof that we live. Revel in it. That's it, dear one! Let Leviathan hear you! Sweet child, you bore the pain like a true believer. I could feel Leviathan's pleasure with every sting of my scourge. I am proud to have served you this penance. I know, dear one, that was my favorite part. Leviathan herself found your performance inspiring. She has deemed you worthy of her blessing. And on a personal note, thank you. That was positively divine. By this technique, or perhaps this one. My beautiful, penitent child. You have already enjoyed my ministrations. Do not be greedy. You...
Most would think us mad for wandering right into the middle of a goblin war clan. I suppose that goes to demonstrate just how desperate we are.
Fine. What's on your mind?
Quite the understatement, but yes, I have it. And I'll guard it with my life. I was part of a group sent by my... Though it turned out that... That's all I know. That's all I need to know.
I must try this technique. Or perhaps this one.
Need something?
You look like you could kick the ass of half the scrubs in here. Bunch of drunken No, me though. I'm hard as they come. And I'm itching for another. Ha! You should... I'll give it a shot.
Poor lad. I could give you peace, you know. But no. You gotta keep silent, don't you? Where do they flee to, you stubborn rat?
Please, stop!
Ah, here to see your friend, have ya? Come and join him if you like.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
The git snuck in here with his mates, looking for some forgotten thing. Said they ran to some kind of grove. He doesn't want to tell us where it is, but he can't resist forever. We do all the work, and you get to finish him? Bah! Take him! Won't do you any good. He just screams. I should have sent him to Moonrise with the rest, for all the good he's been. I want to watch that weird priest next door. Sounded like he was beating some...
Please, please. Let me out. There's no reason for this. Halsin, I don't know. He changed into a bear, but I lost sight of him. I don't know if he's still alive. That's all I know. Please, get me out of here. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Struggle with the set of lockpicks until they are bent entirely out of shape, but the lock won't budge. You struggle with the set of lockpicks until they are bent entirely out of shape. The lock won't budge. The lock clicks and opens.
Thank you. I better go before they catch us. I should be able to make it to the grove on my own. They need to know they're in danger.
Yes. It should be here somewhere. They said there was a hidden passage underneath this temple. The place was supposed to be abandoned, but when we arrived... I'm not sure. All I know is there's a passageway to the Night Song. Brian had instructions, but the goblins got him. They said they'd eat him.
I have to go. I have to get out of here.
I don't know. The boss didn't say.
He just said some wizard called Leroacan would reward us if we found it. That's all.
I'm not supposed to be wounded!
You're being arrested for thieving. Unless you can find a way to settle this here and now. decaying legs protrude from the hole. A failed escape, it seems. The body comes loose, revealing a tunnel. Perhaps you can escape where he failed. The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Taglin, carpenter, father of 2. Heading to Baldur's Gate. Didn't hear goblin patrol. Digging too quickly. Felt tunnel collapsing. Kept going. Better dead than warg meat. Goblins took my friends. Cut them up for the wargs. For meat. Not bad.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Still blocked. This should be easy enough to clear. I'll fill that one later.
Foul stench of slaughter turns suddenly sweet through the rat's nose. Blood smell, life smell. Not like the great hollow below, which smells only of death.
Certainly you won't.
You feel the rat twitching on. You are unable to speak.
Too close to the fire and burnt me arse.
Get some big chunks. They can chew through the bones.
into a weakling. You're gonna be a hunter, so show it.
What do you reckon tieflings taste
Keep it up, one. Put your arm in it, Three. You want to throw in?
Better not be cursed.
this bloody pigeon I ever saw?
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Don't go bothering my pigeon. He's mine. Keep him safe. Listen to him coo. Till I gets hungry or some such. What's it to ya? Him? Nah. Then catch one on your own.
The mark glows, but you feel nothing in response. Your illithid power is beyond reach until you rest.
Take him for a joke, why don't ya? And don't let the lads snatch him up. No, tell him what they'll do to him. Bring him back when he's all tuckered out. Here's the key. Pigeon's all yours.
You there! A friendly face! You haven't the looks about you of one of those cultists? No, sir. I'm in no hurry to take my turn on that spit out front. Perhaps you'd be so kind as to unlock this cage? Curiosity, my friend. It didn't benefit the cat, but it's the foundation of my career. Though I admit I've hit something of an impasse. Please, unlock my cell. Bless you, my friend. I'll wait nicely, but please don't tarry. Aha! I knew I could count on you, my friend. We mustn't tarry, but I'd hate for our friendship to end here. Please, won't you meet me once we've both slipped the goblin yoke? An invisibility potion, my friend. A bit less refined than your mendacious methods, but by God, it'll do the trick. Smashing! Soon, my friend. Soon we can share a flagon of something liquid and a tale of daring do. I'll slip away when the coast is clear. See you soon, my friend. I simply can't wait to pick your brain! good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. I was just settling in and reviewing my latest findings. Mind flayers, cultists, and, of course, your esteemed company. Why, I'm practically an expert. They've tentacles, you know. Quite shocking. The druid Halson had some kind of mind flayer specimen in a jar in his quarters. A replica, no doubt, but truly fascinating to see up close. Here, on the Sword Coast. Impossible. That can't be. That's quite impossible. You'd have undergone ceramorphosis by now. I can't attest to the specifics, but I do know that not long after insertion, the host, that's you, turns into a mind flayer. As there's not a tentacle on your head, I can only assume you haven't been infected. If what you say were true, you'd be a mind flayer by now. You? Infected by a mind flayer? Ridiculous. Isn't it? Perhaps that's for the best. I'd be irresponsible not to debunk such a strange claim. If I just peer in your eye, I could quickly... Oh, my dear, sweet gods! I mean, yes. I suppose I can. I'll need to research the particulars, however. Give me a bit of time, and I'll have this little issue sorted.
I came just in time. You are transforming. Your salvation. And not for the first time. I saved you before. And I'm here to save you again. Don't worry. You will not become a mind flayer. Not while I'm around. I'll protect you. We haven't much time, so listen closely. There is great potential within you. It comes from that parasite. Your instinct is to resist the power it gives, but you must accept it, nurture it. I will keep it from consuming you, but for the sake of both of us, you must learn to wield it. A fight for the fate of Faerun. A fight we are losing. For now. You can change that, but only if you embrace your potential. I have to go. The enemy is closing in. I will be back. You'll feel better. I promise.
I had the strangest dream last night. There was a visitor promising me protection and all sorts of delicious powers from the parasites in our heads. Given our shared affliction, I suppose you had a similar dream. Excellent. Now we can see what these tadpoles can do for us. Exactly. Waste not, want not. Even when it comes to mind flayer parasites. Now, was there anything else?
Ah, my good fellow. Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement.
Volo carefully withdraws the needle from your eye. Then, reaching into his bag, he produces an ice pick. Volo slowly brings the ice pick closer to your eye.
Now. Don't.
Cold metal presses against the skin beneath your brow. And then... tap, tap, stab.
Do you feel that? Ha! I think we have the blighter on the run. I agree. It's a feisty critter. Just a little further.
Volo tears the pick from your brain with a violent jerk. Your eye plops down into the mud.
Drat!
He pauses, looks down at your eye, and recoils slightly as it sinks into the mud.
There appears to be an amount of cosmetic damage. Please, try not to overexert yourself. You're in a rather fragile state at present. I can't help but feel partly responsible. Perhaps there is something more I can do. Take this. A far superior relic to that old jelly you were chained to. Try it on for size. And, it was very nice to have met you. I'm sure you'll sort out your little brain problem one way or another. Far away from here, if you've a heart. Terribly sorry, my friend.
Hello. What can I do for you?
Did you have any strange dreams of late? Vivid ones? Damn. I was hoping my imagination had gotten the better of me. But this must be something more. It seems like we can't escape this mess. In the waking world or otherwise. I had hoped you might be tactful enough to not pick at that particular scab. Seems I was mistaken. My lady and your moon witch are at war, so naturally we're enemies. But enemies with a common purpose, for now. As long as we have use for each other, I can bite my tongue and stay my blade. I don't see what more needs to be said on the matter. I suppose some would consider such diplomacy a virtue. Others might just see it as a lack of will. But I suppose there's no harm in learning about the opposition. No, I doubt there's much to learn. You Selûnites are coddled, decadent, drunk on hope, fattened calves ready for sacrifice. How so? Are you taught to churn your own butter while barely out of swaddling? Nothing Selûne asks of you can compare to the tests that Lady Shah's children endure. What, you think frolicking in the woods by moonlight amounts to a test? That's nothing. That's just a childish thing. I don't want to hear any more of it. We've spoken enough of this. I cannot allow your misguided beliefs to poison my mind.
Another step forward.
Ah, my God! Quite the cozy setup you have here. I'll just make myself comfortable. Thank you so much. My research turned up a rather brilliant technique that seems quite actionable. It's not too deep, just behind the orbital socket. I could attempt an extraction. I've a needle in my tunic, after all. I assure you, I've dreamt of it 1,000 times over.
Volo carefully holds one of your eyes open and begins to prod uncertainly with the needle.
Don't fidget. The needle must slip behind your eye, not through it.
The needle finds the gap between eyeball and socket. Volo frowns and begins to push. Pain shoots through your body as the needle snags on your optic nerve.
I think I have it!
The needle seesaws back and forth, plucking the nerve like a harp string.
Oh, bother. There's some obstacle in the way. I shall need a more robust implement. Stop. Now? Regrettable. Mark my words. Ceremophosis will be far more painful than this procedure.
shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Carefully now.
My faith will guide me.
Still alive, so that's progress. What path lies before me?
You're being arrested for thieving. Unless you can find a way to settle this here and now. They believe you, for now. But something tells you they...
I should speak up.
Out of my way!
Meat ain't ready yet. Dwarves take an age to roast. That's just how dwarves is. Probably should have shaved him before cooking him. Prefer human meat myself. Juicier. One of his mates was a tasty-looking long pig, but he ain't ready for the spit yet. Lads have got him inside for questioning. Enjoy poking holes in people, do ya? He's inside. Keep to the right and follow the screams.
They finished cooking that dwarf yet?
Seems simple enough.
Now you dare.
As she turns to you, her thoughts mingle with yours. A cold hand caressing your brain. The chamber melts away to reveal a dark, endless nowhere. In it, you see a vision. The drow listens as a pale-eyed young woman whispers in her ear. One of those the voice spoke of. One of the chosen. The vision fades away.
A true soul in such a grotesque form. The Absolute has a place in her heart even for Dathir. Her heart is more generous than mine. Join my hunt. Interesting. What do you know of this druid? Perfect. This grove is the place I am seeking. Show me where it is. There is a weapon the Absolute seeks. I'm sure those wretches have it hidden away there. We will find it amongst the dead and the ashes.
Her excitement is palpable. She lingers on thoughts of victory, of unbelievers' blood spilled, and of the weapon. She will seize it, in the Absolute's name.
Show me the grove. Be my eyes.
Her mind enters yours, a splinter of ice piercing your memories. Images of the battle at the for you to be let inside.
I see only fragments. Your mind is confused.
We're just waiting for the word, mistress. We're ready for anything.